Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Elle and I'm an interiors DIY blogger and YouTuber, and today we are going to be doing the rough and buff project. This is a trend that has taken over interiors, TikTok and Instagram by storm. It is such a simple and easy DIY that I'm now just committing to YouTube just so I have a home for it for future projects that I may want to use the rough and buff for. So essentially what it is making things look antique-y, as if they were old-fashioned and old-timely, like they'd been in your house for ages. Very coastal grandma vibes is a term that I've just learned about, and I'm like, yes, that is me. That is the life I've been living for the past 3 years, so who knew I was a trendsetter? But it is just having those kind of antique-y pieces of furniture in your home without spending the money that you would spend on like actual antiques, especially here in the UK, and also just getting kind of like that perfect finish that you want. You could actually do this with actual antiques, so if you found any thrift things on the side of the road or anything like that and they just needed a bit of a refresh, you could absolutely use this for this. In terms of process, very quick and easy to do. You only need a couple of things in actually to do this project, and yeah, the only real difficulty bit is time, because you have to allow drying time because we're going to be using paint, which is why it's taken me so long to get around to doing this. Even though I've had the pieces for ages, it's just been finding the weekend to actually do this project. So today is the day we are going to tackle this project. So what I'm going to be doing is DIYing over a mirror. So if you've watched any of my previous DIY projects, you may have seen the one where I did over a £10 dressing table that I picked up off Facebook Marketplace. Absolute bargain. I'm still proud of it to this day. And I had no mirror there really. Like, I had a mirror with my previous dressing table, but I obviously sold it when I was clearing out space for the new one. But I knew what I wanted. I wanted an antique-y wall mirror that could go up and would just kind of fit in with that vintagey vibe that I'm creating in that corner. Searched far and wide for the one that I wanted, couldn't find it anywhere. Was trying to find on Facebook Marketplace for potential wooden frames that would be perfect, but the ones where I was looking in that under 15 category were just going like so quickly. And then I was doing a bit of tidying upstairs in our attic / Monica cupboard, and I found this bad boy. So I've obviously covered the glass, obviously for the next step that we're about to do, but essentially this is a free mirror that has either been left over by a tenant or donated by the landlord. Either way, I'm taking this bad boy for myself and giving it a bit of a refresh. Now there's a couple of little knocks on there. I'll give you some close-ups of the mirror in situ as it's been for like the past couple of weeks, but I'm okay with that because I think it'll add to the vintage charm essentially, so I haven't really done anything other than sand them down. But yeah, we're going to make this over and make it look vintage as if it's always lived in this house, and then yeah, I think that's just going to spark more of the creative makeover process in the bedroom. So to get on with this DIY, you're going to need a couple of things. So you're going to need spray paint. I have gone with this matte finish. I have a gloss finish downstairs, but because I don't want to interfere with the rough and buff process, I've gone with a matte finish. This is just going to be a good primer base for the main star of the show, which is rough and buff. So essentially this is just like a wax paint, I believe. It comes in all different finishes. The one I have is European gold, which I think will be perfect for what I want to achieve. But you can get like bright gold, you can get even darker, you can get more coppery. You can really go for town with it on this stuff. And then I have this, which is just a little stipply brush. I have a couple, which means that if I ruin any, I've got more for other projects, because I can see this potentially being quite dangerous for me in terms of starting with something and then just keep going with it. So there may be more rough and buff projects in the future, but yeah, for now we're just sticking to the mirror. Small but steady on these projects, but yeah, these are literally the only things you actually need. Obviously you need the decor piece that you want to decorate, and a good old Amazon or other parcel box to house your project in, just so that you can spray paint it without ruining the rest of your home or garden. So I've literally been waiting for a break in the rain. It's a very miserable day considering it is June. Yeah, it's been a bit miserable, but there's a break in the rain, so I'm going to go out there now quickly spray paint this mirror, and then I'm going to bring it inside, leave it for the recommended, let's have a look, touch dry in 40 to 60 minutes. So essentially I'm just going to go to my local village and get a coffee, and by the time I come back it'll be perfect to do the rough and buff on. So let's go and spray paint this bad boy. Okay guys, it has been about 2 and a bit hours later and an outfit change because I underestimated the weather today. It was so cold and now it's like suddenly really warm, so I just had to put a different layer on. Also, apologise for the background noise. Dash is very thirsty and he's chosen this opportunity to take the biggest drink ever. Anywho's, the frame itself is almost kind of dry. There's still a little bit, you can see it's just kind of a little bit on here, but this is fine. It's not 100% covered either. That's okay too, because really it's the gold that we're more worried about, or wanting to make sure that is perfect. So where did I put the gold is a good question. 1 second, here we go. So what I've seen people do is just simply like stipple it on rather than like painting it on. So I'm just going to do a little bit on the cardboard here and then just stipple it and see how it goes. So feels like I'm cheating a little bit here. You know when it's like a DIY is just too easy? Like this is what it feels like. It just feels like it's way too easy to do as a tutorial, but I mean, I'm pretty stoked. I'm also 100% going to look at the possibility of like doing something else in my house, maybe this weekend, because I've got like loads of spray paint left over, so I'm like, ooh, what else could I give a makeover? I actually have an idea, and if this works out, I might, depending on how much of the rub and buff that I have left over, I might do another add-on to this project. If not, do go check out my Instagram and go see that makeover there. Anywho, let's get on with the rub and buff on the frame. Hello guys, I thought I'd just quickly explain. So what I'm learning is that this stuff goes on quite thick, and like here where I've like completely covered it in the rough and buff, by the way it smells quite strong as well, so would just open a window when you're doing this. If you do it too strong, obviously it kind of coats all the black and you don't get that antique look that you're looking for. So what I found is to really just dob it on and then just really spread the paint. I don't even know if it's called paint, well I'm calling it that anyway. But yeah, like can you see like now, you just, if you keep moving it along, you get those kind of like, what you're looking for, that tarnishing and stuff, which is why we put the dart down to begin with, because we didn't want it to be a full-on beautiful gold, because you know, we want this mirror to look like it's been here a while. So that is my tip, is just to keep it moving, so little and often. As you can see, I've only done like 2 blobs of the stuff, and I'm almost done. So I'm gonna have some rub and buff left over, so 100% I'm gonna get on with another project this weekend. So I'm gonna just finish off this side here where you guys can see, and then we are going to leave it to dry. Does it say how long? Doesn't really say how long, but I'm gonna give it like as long as possible. So I'll probably leave this on until we start cooking, and then yeah. I will say as well, I am stupid for wearing cream while doing this. I fully recognise that I'm an idiot for wearing white or creams while doing DIYs, but I am, if not a risk taker. Okay, so I just finished doing the rub and buff on the frame. I kind of think like it needs to like dry, but I'm touching it now and nothing's coming off on my fingers, so I think it's pretty much good to go up. I'm still gonna just leave it overnight before I put it up on the wall, just give it time to, I don't think curate's the right word, but that, you know, when you let things climatize to the environment, I think that's what I'm just gonna do, like just make sure it's completely non-transferable before I put it up. But I still have loads of rub and buff left over and plenty of spray paint. So of course I want to do another rub and buff project. Had a thought about what I wanted to do, and I have an idea, and this one's a bit of a curveball because I thought I was going to do something else, but actually I've changed my mind and I want to do this instead. So let me bring over the next project. This bad boy. So this lamp is actually my first HomeSense purchase I ever got. It served me well, but over the time, the silver is just not in my style, so I really want to change that. My thinking is, because when I've looked at like my inspo projects for like my dream living room, I don't see any like real gold based lamps in it, but I see a lot of the black with like a hint or pure like black lamps. So what my thinking is that I'm going to spray it completely with the spray paint, the whole coat. And then what I think I'm gonna do is just be really light with the rub and buff, like full on, just very little of it, and see where we go with that. Worst case is I repurpose this for another DIY, but we're gonna give it a go with this base. So I need to take this lampshade off and yeah, let's get spray painting this outside. Okay, trying to get in the frame here. What I have found the trick is to give it that kind of somewhat, you know, it was gold but it's really severely aged look, which is the look I'm kind of going for, is really rub it on the cardboard so you get the excess off and just move really quickly with it. Here I've really concentrated, which is fine because this one will be covered by the light shade, but just really move it around. And I kind of like that there's some bits where it's like quite like heavily condensed, but then there's others that are missing. It just, this looks like an antique. So I don't think I need any more rub and buff. I'm just going to keep going with it. But this is exactly the kind of look that I was going for. Oh my god, I'm addicted. I'm addicted to rub and buff. This looks so good. Like, this is exactly what I was thinking. Like, just that kind of hint of gold. But when the lamp's on, it's gonna look so good. And it's like, literally, like, it's ready to go. Oh my god, I'm gonna put it outside to dry. But she's done. This is so, oh my god, I love this. What else can I do? What else is there? I'm starting to think of all the projects now. What else can I'm literally looking around my kitchen right now like, what could I rub and buff here? Do you know what? There's a couple of projects that I do want to do, but I'm going to hold off for the moment because I think one of them I will do when I'm doing a different project. So I am going to leave it here tonight and we shall do a reveal tomorrow morning when I can put them up in their glory. So I'm going to leave this bit here, guys, and I will do a reveal tomorrow. Okay, good morning, guys. It is the next day. Same outfit, different t-shirt, and dirty hair is up in a bun. I'm trying to conceal the reveal behind me of the lamp, but it's pretty obvious. Like, you could see it pretty much completed in the previous clip. But yes, let's reveal the projects because I've just styled them up. I've just photographed them, done reels, and I am obsessed with both of them. So no more waiting. Here's the reveal of the rub and buff projects for the mirror and the lamp. I'm back in the middle now, and I'm not gonna lie, looking at that lamp in the viewfinder, it looks stunning. Like, it's absolutely gorgeous. Like, it's the perfect kind of, like, I found this vintage piece and it's completely worn down, but there's still some charm to it, which I'm obsessed with. And the mirror is just perfect. It's that perfect bit of like antique brass that I wanted, and it looks stunning on the wall, and it feels like I've got so much more space now on that desk now that there's not a mirror actually leaning up against it, but that corner is just beautiful. Anywho, if you can't tell, obsessed with rub and buff. There's so many other projects I want to do. There's actually like a gold piece that I'm looking at that's on my mantle. You may have seen it on my Instagram feed that I'm like, ooh, wonder what you would look like, a bit more rustic, but I'm holding back because I could go quite literally all over with these things. I mean, certainly there's frames like in this room that I think like when we do this makeover, I'm gonna completely recycle the frames and make them gold, and it's gonna look perfect. So I'd highly recommend this DIY. So easy, like honestly, beginner, baby level, you could do this DIY. Like, you'll get obsessed, I tell you right now. Once you see like how amazing and charming that the pieces are, you'll be obsessed. If you did enjoy this video, do give it a like and let me know in the comments below what pieces you might be doing rough and buff on. Like, let me know, give me some inspiration, fuel my need to just completely DIY everything. If you want to see more, do subscribe to this channel. We are growing at an alarming rate, which is very humbling, and I'm grateful for it. We're really close to 1,000 followers, which is insane. So do follow this channel if you're not already. Like, rate, subscribe, all that jazz, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye.